In this weekend one-timer, Ashley and Noah check in on the Habs 2 games played this week. They scold Connor McDavid, and they scold people who won't scold Connor McDavid. Enjoy this weekend one-timer. Welcome back to Fumble Puck, everybody. This is your weekend one-timer with Ashley and Noah. Ashley, how's your week going?
It's going. It's still going. It's going. How about you?
Oh, it's going. We're locking down after tomorrow, so we get to do Good Friday sales and then lock it all down the next day.
I don't think we're that far behind you, so.
Yeah, probably not. And you know what? It's not an April Fool's joke. It's real.
Yeah, who knows though? This whole thing is like it's like a really bad April Fool's joke, right? Like, do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, do that, change this, change that. Like, they don't know what they're doing, clearly. So
I was looking at one of the policy documents, and it says allowed outdoor dining, and then it says right under it, prohibited outdoor service. So what does that mean? Are you allowed to like order food somewhere and then sit on my patio and eat it, even though you didn't order? I don't know, right? It's so weird. It makes no sense. Everything's backwards. The rules are so vague. It's wild.
It's crazy. This whole thing is a little bit psychotic, but stay home, stay safe. That's all you can do.
You know what's psychotic?
What?
People on hockey Twitter on April Fools. The amount of fake trades and like people imitating actual team accounts, just talking shit. It's crazy. It's one of the few days out of the year where I actively avoid Twitter as much as possible because I don't have time for all the garbage that pops up.
I was actually one today that was like, I forget who it was Carolina. It was a fake fan from Carolina and a fake fan from, I forget the other place. Oh, Dallas. And the Dallas fan was like, we have acquired Svechnikov for Ben. And the fan, like the
must have freaked out.
The Carolina fan wrote back saying, WTF, give him back. Like, no. But I just started laughing. I thought it was quite funny. I mean, I don't find them funny. I find them stupid. But like that fake trade that someone texted me the other day that I was like, that's not true. And they're like, yeah, I heard it from good authority. And I texted you and I was like, listen to this one. And I knew it wasn't true. So give me props for learning. But
yeah, you were on the ball with that one.
I was. What was it? It was Mete, Byron, and Armia, I think, for someone. Was that what it was? It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was all our junk for something good. And they're not really junk anymore, I guess. So we kind of have to check ourselves on that.
Oh, for Dunn and Hoffman. It was for Dunn and Hoffman. That was the trade.
Right.
Like, that's going to happen. Okay, sure.
I'm pretty sure Dunn was drafted by Ottawa, wasn't he?
I have no idea, but I'd like to have Vince Dunn. I'm not going to lie. I'm a fan.
I used to be a big fan of Dunn, and then the last year and a bit, I've been a little underwhelmed. Like, he's just okay now, you know? He's all right.
Well, what about Ghost? I can't even say his name. What about Ghost?
I would like him over Edmondson, but he's got real big defensive liability bits to him. Like, he's not good defensively at all. He's basically a power play quarterback. So if we think we need that, then yeah, like I'd think about it. At the end of the day, I don't know how sold I would be on Shane Ghostbear.
Okay, what about Gusev? Didn't you like him? You wanted him for a long time, if I remember correctly. He's on waivers today.
Yeah, I saw that. No, I'm over him. I used to think he had a lot of potential, and when he was as a dirt cheap player, there's some value to it, right? Like, I'm a big believer in taking calculated risk. I don't think at this stage of his career he's a calculated risk anymore. He's not a great hockey player. You know, like the question's been answered for me.
Right.
Like he had that one like really hot streak of like 45 games where everyone's like, ooh, this might be a player, but it fizzled out.
Okay, well, we're not getting him anyway, so don't worry about it. But
we are getting wins this week is what we're getting.
I know. What a weird feeling, eh? Like, what is this feeling? It's elation. It's weird.
So I watched both games, the Edmonton and the Ottawa game. That Ottawa game wrapped up not too long ago. My favorite part about the Edmonton game was Dano shutting down McDavid the entire time. It just reminded me, I couldn't help but think back to the playoffs, Montreal versus Pittsburgh, where Plekanec was shutting down Crosby, and Crosby was like losing his mind. And they interviewed Plekanec, and he was like, yeah, well, if Sidney Crosby's punching and slashing and hacking at me, I think I'm doing my job right. And like, it was perfect evidence. McDavid was so angry he took a cheap shot, right? Like, that's how annoyed he was.
Yeah, and we will talk about that later because not okay with that cheap shot. So
not okay.
No. No, at all.
But so the Deno line, is the Deno line back? Are they back? I think they're back.
Okay, well, you know my opinion on this line, so it's everybody. I think knows my opinion on this line. Whatever. Okay. You know I don't want to go into this because it's part of my segment later. Is kind of about this, but no, yeah, whatever. I don't care. We're scoring. That's all I care about. I don't even care anymore. I'm too tired to fight about it. I don't care. I'm tired in general of this line. I really think if you were to put Danault with Byron and Lehkonen, you'd have just as good stats because he's a good defensive forward. So I don't think it really matters who his wingers are, and I would like to give them a chance with another forward. Like switch KK and Danault. That's all I have to say.
I'd be okay seeing that, but right now it looks like that line is there for the long haul. But aside from that line, tell me about your thoughts on the Edmonton game.
I liked our game plan. I was really worried that we'd be rusty because we haven't skated or played in like a week, or it was 9 days. So that was a little bit concerning. But we dominated them. We totally just dominated the heck out of them. It was awesome, and I loved it. And I actually noticed Tatar shadowing McDavid quite a few times too.
Yeah,
and he was doing a great job of it. And again, when McDavid's being a dumbass and taking penalties, or whatever, should have been suspended, but taking penalties for all his little antics there, it's great. Like that's what you want, right? It's exactly what you're trying to do, and they nailed it. And the whole team, even Kotkaniemi, I mean, obviously was on against McDavid for that like 5 seconds, but I just love how they were all over them. They played our game and went all over them. And it was wonderful.
It feels really cool getting a shutout against one of the top 3 offensive teams in the league.
It does, and I'm really happy for Price because he really deserved it. But I have to say something because tonight Jake Allen lost the shutout with like a minute remaining, which typical Montreal. Who cares about the shutout? Like, I'd rather. Sorry?
I said, yeah, I agree. Who cares? It's such an overrated stat.
Yeah, I don't care. I'd rather the win. I don't care what the score is as long as we're on the winning end. I don't give a shit if we lose. I give a shit if we lose. I don't give a shit if we win 6-2, 6-5. I don't care. Just give me the win. To me, the shutout is like, I mean, I know goalies care about it or whatever. I think they'd rather just the win too, though. You know what I mean? Like their stats are their stats, good or bad. I mean, whatever. But like, I want the win. That's what matters to me. So that's just my opinion on that.
Goalie stats in general are really a weird thing. Like it's hard to get excited about a goalie's save percentage and goals against average now. Like you look at like the advanced stats, like goals saved above average, and those are interesting. But goalies don't care about them. Like there's no real one goalie stat, even wins, because sometimes the goalie sucks and your team still wins. I'm looking at you, Toronto, right? Like, you know, it's hard to actually parse out and evaluate a goalie individually.
Right.
So who cares about the shutout? We got the win. We'll take it. You know, wow. Awesome.
Yeah. And then Allen played great tonight too. So even better, right?
What did you think of Michael Frolik in these games?
Well, when I first saw 67, I was a little bit confused. I was like, what? I was like, who? That's weird. He's been okay. He's not wowing me like Corey Perry's wowing me, but he's okay. He's solid. I mean, he had a good chance tonight. He's been okay. What do you think?
Yeah, I think like one of the things about him is that he hasn't been too noticeable. And on a fourth line, I don't think that's a bad thing, right? Like you're kind of looking for someone just to eat some minutes up. So he did fine, and he was kind of overshadowed by how great of a game Jake Evans had tonight. So there's and Corey Perry, of course. Like we'll get to that, but you know if he's not hurting the team, I'm fine with it, right? Like he's your 12th skater
for sure. And I think once Stahl, which is so weird to say, and Armia and Toffoli and possibly Caulfield come up, I mean, he won't be on the roster anymore. So unless we need him because of injuries, God forbid, knock wood. But yeah.
Yeah, like based on what I saw the last 2 games, you could convince me to keep Frolik in the lineup over Armia, but that's it. It's like I'm not like Stahl's taking his spot, right? Like
I really wouldn't mind Armia being traded. We need the cap space, and I'm okay with it. You?
Yeah, we haven't noticed he's been gone, so.
No, we have not. That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, this Ottawa game tonight, it was really cool to see us finally whoop Ottawa and not have to struggle through a game with them.
I know, like what a rarity, right? They're always. I don't understand why they're so hard for us to match up with. I don't get it.
I think it's just easy to get up in the morning to play a game against the Canadians. If you're the Senators, you have no expectations. You know, like you're just kind of trying to put on a show with no pressure. I guess that's the Senators' advantage is that they haven't had a pressure game in 3 years, right? So
Yeah, I don't know why they play us so hard. It's not just us, it's us, Toronto. The only team that kicks their ass all the time is Edmonton.
But that's the thing, right? There's no expectations for the actual win. These are kids just playing to grow, develop, and make a name for themselves. And then if you're someone like Connor Brown, kind of, right, you're looking just to make sure you're solidifying your reputation so you cash out at the right time. You know, it makes sense that they play hard individually because they don't have to care about the team result necessarily. And they do, I'm sure, you know, like they seem like they're a good locker room, but there's no pressure.
Yeah, I wonder, like, I really think they're going to be, like, dynamite in the next, like, 5 years.
Well, they're going to have to figure out how to offload Matt Murray's contract first.
I laughed when that one happened. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, that's the thing. We always talk about, like, if you look at Ottawa's prospect pool and their young talent, of course, the obvious answer is, yeah, they're going to be great, right? But how many teams have we seen do this and then not be great? Like look at Edmonton, right? They sucked forever, you know? Yep. So it really depends on what they do with this talent and make sure they're doing it properly. And, you know, they might get into the same kind of problem that Columbus has where, you know, everyone ages out pretty quickly and takes the money somewhere else because Melnyk doesn't want to pay. And it's not that Columbus doesn't want to pay, it's just that people don't want to stay there. But that, you know what I mean, right? Like, people, why would you want to stay in Ottawa if they're bad, you know?
I was just going to say that. Like, I feel bad for the players that are on really crappy teams that are kind of stuck. You know what I mean? Like, it's like they signed their contract to play for whoever that stinks this year, like Buffalo, let's say. And it's like Jack Eichel, he must want out so bad, but he can't say it. You know what I mean? Like, he can ask for a trade quietly, but he can't really be like, get me out of here. Or maybe he can. We'll see. But
I wish he could say it.
You wish he would say it?
Yeah, I wish players were allowed to say whatever they wanted.
Yeah, they're clearly not because, you know, hockey PR and they're coached to what to say. But
yeah, it's
Eric Stahl's probably like, thank you, you know?
Well, that was his like little soundbite there, right? The best part about that is I don't have to answer questions about it. Like, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. He actually, I watched something today about it. Sportsnet did with him yesterday, and he commented how his family's like, his wife bought like Habs swag and how his kids were watching the game the night before against Edmonton. They're like, Dad, you're on a really good team. Like, they haven't
that's awesome.
They haven't said that for a while, you know?
That makes me so happy to hear. Actually, I didn't hear that. That's so good.
I'll try to tweet out the link on the pod Twitter.
Nice.
Yeah. So check it out, listeners, all 4 of you.
So going into the game tonight, I've referenced a couple of times Dom Luszczyszyn's model, right?
Yeah.
He has, so that the top 4 teams in our division, so Toronto, Winnipeg, Edmonton, and us, we all have a 93% or better chance of making the playoffs based on the schedule, the standings. So based on his model, it would take a cataclysmic failure for either Vancouver or Calgary or Ottawa, but probably not, right, to unseat one of those 4.
Okay, I like those odds. 93.
Yeah, they're really good odds. So if you look at the way our schedule breaks out the next little while, because like if we're losing to Toronto, because we have a lot of games coming up against Toronto, right? It's not as bad as if we're losing to Calgary, who's actively trying to take our spot, right? So the fact that we got a lot of our Vancouver games over with already is actually a good thing now.
And what's interesting with Vancouver being on COVID protocol right now, they're not going to have played in 14 days, if I saw that correctly today.
Yeah.
14. That's 2 weeks. That's crazy. I mean, that's a great break for them if they're injured, but like that's a lot of time that they're not playing hockey. They're lucky they got so many games out of the way before that. You know?
They're lucky because that's going to suck. And I don't think they're going to be able to finish their schedule. I can't imagine it.
It's crazy. 14. That's insane. Like we had 9 and we came out flying. And I think we should get the same break right before playoffs. Just a thought.
It won't happen, but you know.
Oh, but look how good we are when we are rested.
I know. I wish. If I was the commissioner of the NHL, I would just stack everything in Montreal's favor. And Columbus's favor. But like Columbus would have to lose against Montreal in like the conference final.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that cannon ever again. Do they still have the cannon in the empty arena?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, my poor ears. Okay.
I love the cannon. I'm a big cannon fan.
It's so loud. I don't like loud noises. Oh, no.
It's a hockey game. It's supposed to be loud.
Yeah, but that's a whole other level of loud. Like, no. Cannons, war, scary. No, not my thing. Nope. Anyways.
All right, so we only have one game up this weekend. We have a game on Saturday against Ottawa again. What are you looking for in that? What are your thoughts on that? What do you want to see?
So tonight With Eric Stahl, is that what you said?
Yeah.
No, he apparently isn't out of quarantine until after Saturday. I thought it was Friday. And they're off Sunday, so he'll be able to train with the team on Monday, and we have a game Monday night. However, I didn't love our game plan tonight, to be honest. I actually felt kind of nervous in the first. I thought Ottawa was coming at us a bit more than I wanted them to. I want us to repeat Tuesday's game, like against Edmonton. Let's try that for the next, 8 weeks or 9 weeks or so. That'd be great. No?
Yeah, it's interesting, actually, now that you mention it. Like, the game plan against Edmonton was really to lock down Draisaitl and McDavid and not worry about the rest too much, because Ottawa doesn't have as much high-end talent. They have more they have more of a dispersion, I guess. Montreal didn't feel compelled to play as hard against them. They just kind of they rolled their four lines and let them do their work, right? So different game plans both worked. But and it was funny to see how dominant certain players were in this game, right? Like, they just the Sens don't have the experience to keep up with some of our guys.
No, for sure. I just found the game a little bit boring tonight, so I'm hoping that'll be a bit more exciting and we still win it on Saturday. Personally, that's my hope. What do you hope for?
Yeah, I will agree with you. It was not as exciting. My hope for Saturday is I want to get one more win. I like of course, obviously I want to win. That's kind of a silly thing to say, I suppose, but I really want another strong game. I like that right before the break and now into the break, like after the break, I like that this team is slowly reshaping the media narrative around them again. Everyone's like, oh, so they weren't as good as they were when they won 10 games in a row. They weren't, or their first 10 games record, they're not as bad as they were afterwards. But that new middle ground they're in is still a really good team.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I completely agree. And look how many players we're missing. We're missing Toffoli and Stahl and Armia and Caulfield's coming. We're missing Sherratt. We're missing 4 main pieces to our roster, or possibly 5. So, and we're still dominating. So that's pretty good, If
Toffoli is healthy on Saturday, do you put him in the lineup or do you not mess with it because it's against Ottawa and we just kick their butts with this roster?
I would put him in. You wouldn't? He's our number 1 scorer. Why wouldn't you put him in?
Because the lines worked well and maybe one extra game of rest might help him. I don't know.
I mean, I doubt he'll play on Saturday, if I'm being honest. That means he practices tomorrow. He hasn't practiced with the team yet at all, so I highly doubt that's happening. But maybe by Monday he'll be back. I don't think by Saturday. But who knows?
Who comes out? Like Frolik and Lehkonen?
Why are we taking out 2 players for 1?
Stahl and Toffoli. Stahl
only gets his first practice with the team on Monday. Doubtful he comes in Monday too. But yeah, I would definitely put Toffoli back with KK. So that would be, I wouldn't take out Lehkonen necessarily. I don't know. I'd have to look at the roster. Maybe Byron.
It's hard to justify pulling out Byron now, though. He's been on fire.
I know. Lehkonen, he took a really dumb penalty tonight. So possibly Lehkonen. Yeah, maybe Lehkonen and Frolik for those 2. All
right.
I don't know. What would you do? Same thing?
I think so, but everyone knows I love Artturi Lehkonen a lot, so I'm not going to go on the record saying scratch Artturi Lehkonen.
I like Lehkonen a lot too. So does my mom. You and my mom are his biggest fans. And
I watched him in the World Juniors when it was in Montreal. I've been a fan for so long. I wanted to draft him. I was happy when we drafted him. I'm so sold on this kid.
Yeah, I know. You've been a huge Lehkonen fan forever. So is my mom. The 2 of you, I'm telling you. Can we do a Neon knee-jerk reaction that you have a Neon knee-jerk reaction this time?
Yeah, I'm always ready for those. I'm ready. Go for it.
Okay, so let's start with, those fans who wear green colors, like neon green colors? What's your thought on them?
Like the Green Man Group, kind of like?
No. The fans who try to distract you because they're wearing fluorescent green in the arena and banging on the glass. Those things.
I love it.
Really?
Yeah, I love it. I think gamesmanship is a big part of any NHL game, and it's hard to get the fans into the game. If you're a fan and you can distract the other team, I'm all for it. I think that's a great responsibility, and it makes you a little mini famous. I'm cool with that too. Anything fans do to distract players, I'm all for it.
Okay, that's an interesting reaction.
Totally. I would scream at players, no problem. When I used to go to games, I used to yell at Chara from the 300s, being like, Chara, you suck, and the rows would laugh,
I've been at games where you've been next to me yelling about how hot Hal Gill is, remember?
Yeah, I used to yell at Hal Gill to add me on Facebook during games. Well, you have to time it for when after people have cheered, so when it gets really quiet, and then it's just Hal Gill, 2 minutes for looking so good.
I remember you yelling that at one of the games that I went to with you, and I was dying. It was so funny.
I also love Hal Gill. I'm a huge fan.
I know you are. I know. Okay, how many goals should your number one center have?
Anywhere from 10 to 50.
Okay, how should your number one center only have 10 goals? That's not very good.
Well, if he has 60 assists.
Okay, but okay. Well, fine in that case. But okay. And then my last one.
But the most important part about the number one center is this, though, is I expect a number one center to outscore, to have a positive goal differential. That's the key. Right. There would be no scenario in which it's acceptable for number one center to have a negative goal differential.
Okay. Good point. Okay. And the last knee-jerk reaction for tonight is going to be, what's your thoughts on our penalty kill?
It's the one kind of piece of the team you're kind of looking to bump up a little bit now, right?
I don't know. Our power plays was pretty crappy the last 2 games, too.
Well, we're still averaging super high. There's some statistical regression in the power play. It's okay to miss for 2 games when you've been the best in the league for the past 8 or 9, right? Right. Our penalty kill is good. I really missed, and I didn't see it as much from Lehkonen the last 2 games. But in our first 10 games where we were really on fire and creating all those shorthanded chances, what I loved was how aggressive they were attacking. They were relentless. They had no fear. They had no fear with letting the other team get a lane and take a shot because they were just attacking, right? And we got a shorthanded goal tonight, so that's amazing. It worked out. It's good. It's not great. It's and I think we're ranked 19th or something in the league, right? So it's very average.
Right. I was actually about to tweet tonight, can we get a shorty when he scored a shorty? So I just deleted my whole tweet and wrote, shorty, it's about time.
There you go. Yeah. I think our penalty kill is scary for some teams because of how fast it is, right? And they just can't lose that aggressiveness. I would imagine they always say, your best penalty killer has to be your goaltender. That's true. Our best penalty killers, though, have been our forwards who have been scoring shorthanded goals. Paul Byron and Artturi Lehkonen are our best penalty killers.
Absolutely. They forecheck like crazy. That's why I like them. And that's why I really am a huge fan of Lehkonen also, because he's our best forechecker. He's amazing at it. So, yeah.
Those were good reactions.
Well, I'll come up. That was a very short notice one because I actually had none written down. So I'm glad. Thank you.
Awesome.
But I do have one more question.
Yes.
Not knee-jerk. Okay. So people are talking about Phil Deneau being our number one center again. You know my thoughts on this.
Yep.
He has a career-high 13 goals.
Yes.
Name me any other first-line centers, and he doesn't have 60 assists. Name me any other team with first-line centers that have lesser or equal to career-high 13 goals. It doesn't have to be tonight. This can be for Sunday. But just think about it and get back to me on that, because this is why.
If I'm hearing this correctly, you're asking me for our recording on Sunday to make the case as to why Phil Deneau is a first-line center.
Precisely, but don't do it to piss me off.
Okay, so in a non-combative way, explain why Phil Deneau is a first-line center. Okay, and I'm going to go on the record ahead of time saying this year I'm not sure if he's a first-line center, so I haven't done all my homework yet, but I will say the last couple of years he has been a low-end first-line center or one of the best second-line centers in the league.
Is that because of lack of talent on the Habs at center, however?
I would say so my argument will come down to the concept of how do you define a top-line center? And that's where I'm going to hinge my argument for the jury. We'll save that for Sunday. We're going to write that down. That's actually a great topic. That'll be a good little segment to talk about on Sunday. I'm excited.
Okay, I'm just going to tell you, though, Sidney Crosby is my definition of a first-line center, and Nathan MacKinnon. Good luck.
So you will get to that. They are first-line centers. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's my point. Just leave it at that. Anyways, that's my rebuttal to you, but it's all good. So yeah, I just had to ask you that because I'm seeing it a lot on Twitter again tonight, and it's making me kind of irritated. Not that he's not playing great, he is, but
8 points in 5 games. They're back that line. It's wicked.
Awesome, we need it, but they should not be labeled our first line. That's my only qualm with this, but it's all good. Okay, so back to our
gearing up for the weekend. All right, so we got some games coming up this weekend. Friday, the one I want everyone to be looking for if you're not watching. Well, obviously the Habs aren't playing Friday, but Calgary and Edmonton are playing. I want everyone listening to cheer for Connor McDavid that game. The more we pound down Calgary and Vancouver now, the easier our lives are. So I know we were mad at him from Tuesday, but you have to cheer for McDavid. Sorry. Saturday, you get an afternoon game, a 1 p.m. start time between Pittsburgh and Boston, two teams that are really strong, doing really well. Pittsburgh's kind of been turning it on again lately because they're never out as usual, I guess, right? Whenever we think they're done, they're not. So that should be an exciting one. And then Sunday, I've got Washington versus New Jersey because Alex Ovechkin is still heating up. He's catching up in the goal race, and that's always exciting to watch. And New Jersey is easy to boo, so it's great.
We have to talk about that hit, that knee, that elbow to Kotkaniemi. And did you see the McKinnon helmet throw?
I did not see the helmet throw.
You didn't see it? Oh my God.
No.
Okay, well, check it out on Twitter. I'll also retweet that from the Fumble Puck Pod Twitter handle. But, what was your thoughts on that lovely elbow to KK's face?
Yeah, it sucked. So here's the thing. Is it a suspendable hit? I don't know. My personal opinion, I think there's an argument for it. If someone says it should just be a penalty, I have time for that. What I don't have any time for that I think is just freaking nuts is people saying, well, it's fine because it happens to him all the time. That's a ridiculous take. I think Sid Cicero from formerly of Sportsnet, right? From Tim and Sid, he alluded to that in Twitter the other day. That's just a garbage take. It's terrible. Hitting someone getting hit doesn't allow you to hit other people illegally. If you're making an argument the refs suck and they need to clamp down on that stuff, absolutely. If you're saying it's not suspendable, whatever, we can have that discussion. What you can't say in good faith is that he's allowed to do it because it happens to him. That's just terrible. Bad take. That was my dumb take that someone else is going to say. So I'm just getting to that right away. That's a dumb take. You shouldn't subscribe to that. It's absolutely ridiculous that you would think that. I
completely agree with you. I mean, that's like saying, I actually tweeted back at him saying, if it happened to your kid, how would you feel? What kind of stupidity is that? Just because somebody hits somebody in the head because they're upset and they're being a baby, it doesn't give them the right to do it because they had it happen to them before. Big deal. And imagine if it was the reverse and KK hit McDavid in the face like that.
Oh, people would be freaking out and KK would be suspended. And here's the thing. McDavid already has a history. He's already given a headshot before. So
it was 18 months ago. Remember how we
doesn't
discussed?
Count anymore, right?
It was over 18 months ago. Yeah, exactly. Which is such bullshit. Yeah. God, it's ridiculous.
That's a dumb hot take that someone else is going to that has been popping up, then you should avoid. Do you want to hear my hot take?
Yes, I do.
The Habs will finish this season better than fourth place in the division. So either first, second, or third.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
You want to hear my hot take that you're probably going to yell at me for pissing off the hockey gods?
Yes.
The Habs are winning the cup this year.
Okay. Wow. That's I don't know what to say right now. I wasn't expecting that. You threw me off guard.
I told you, I'm pissing off the hockey gods. Oh,
because we've been joking about drafting 32nd overall. I don't think we've ever dove into that. But hey, if ever there was a year to take advantage and do it, I like our team. Just you know what the one thing that terrifies me is, right?
What?
The Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yes, I know. That's what I thought you were going to say.
There's too much. There's too much. We've been making fun of them for 60 years. At some point, karma's going to have to bite us.
Okay, but we're all making fun of them. It's not just us. It's every single team out there.
Yeah, but the other teams don't matter. We're special.
Why are we special?
Because we're the Montreal Canadiens. We're the best hockey team in history.
Okay, and they're one of the worst. What's your point?
Exactly. At some point in time, God is going to be zap, and ruin our chances because he's mad at us for chirping them.
I think he's already done that with all the crap we've gone through in the last, 23 years or something. I think we're good.
No, that's the thing. We've only gone through 23 years of it. They've gone through 60.
I lied. It's more than 23. It's
the last time Toronto won a playoff series, HD TV wasn't invented.
Neither was color TV. It was brand new, apparently. Did you know
that was the last time they won a cup. The last time they won a playoff round, HD TV wasn't invented.
Sorry, I thought you said cup. Yeah, no, I know.
Crazy.
Look, we can't control it. It is what it is. We can't control anything. That's my hot take. You asked me for one. I'm giving you one. Now,
I respect it. It's you are more courageous than I am.
And if I had a microphone, I'd drop it. I do have a microphone, but I'm not about to drop it. So
Don't drop it. You can't afford to replace it right now.
No, I can't. Exactly. But mic drop theoretical. Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. And I think we're kind of wrapping up for the week. That was our weekend one-timer. Lockdowns aplenty coming up. So Yeah, everyone stay safe and good luck trying to figure out what the actual rules are, I suppose. You want to drop a plug?
Sure. So check out our handles on social media, which is at FumblePuckPod. Also on Facebook, it's Fumble Puck Podcast. You can also find us on YouTube. We're on every single streaming app for the podcast, as far as I know. If we're not, please let us know. You can always email us, Ashley at fumblepuckpod.com or Noah at fumblepuckpod.com. That's Noah with an H. And stay safe, get vaccinated if you can, and have a wonderful, wonderful Easter weekend.
Cheers, everybody. Take it easy.